level of violence in our schools that we've never seen before.
Troubling incidents that are happening in places where all kids should be safe. But student leaders at the Toronto District School Board are highlighting growing safety issues and what may be behind the problem. Isaiah, Naomi, and Jeffrey are student trustees at the Toronto District School Board. The topic of violence has dominated their final year of high school.
A lot of people don't acknowledge where it comes from, where it stems from, and people don't actually look at the impact COVID had on these kids because they lack those social skills that they were supposed to sort of learn before they came to high school or during school.
Months of pandemic school closures forcing tens of thousands of students into isolation and online learning during formative years.
I look at the younger grades and I know that they don't really know how to de-escalate situations. And again, everything is so heightened, so they have reactions that are more violent or just like the reaction that we usually would not have because we know how to de-escalate certain situations.
They say such students are being unfairly blamed.
It's a challenge when you're troubled and reaching out and asking for help. That's always a challenge amongst youth. And I think especially those who are perpetuating the violence that we see, they may not know what supports are available to them, or they're afraid to ask for them because they think they'll be criminalized or penalized.
Studies show the pandemic has impacted students' mental health. Returning to full-time in-person learning this September wasn't always a smooth transition.
Wherever there are less resources, then there's more stress, there's more mental health challenges, there's more violence, there's more, less attainment in terms of where you go after high school and so on. And so we really have to look at what's happening in high schools and which high schools.
And changes have been made. Trustees say the TDSB has been responsive to student recommendations, among them to increase staffing.
That is what the TDSB is really trying to do. If we could train teachers and staff to really understand a student, understand their background and where they're coming from when situations happen like this, I think it could really de-escalate a problem much better.
Though change is happening, it will take time, but they say the focus shouldn't be on schools alone.
It's not just problems that are happening in the school, but sometimes in the community too.
And guardians also have a role to play in keeping the communication going at home.
Take your child for a walk. If you have a vehicle, take your kid for a drive so they can look out the window, because sometimes it can be hard to have these conversations face to face.
And when you are having these conversations with your teens, Francis says to show them that they can come to you at any point. Ask questions not only about how school went, but maybe how math class was, who they're hanging out with, what they had for lunch, and how you can support them. In Toronto, I'm Faiza Amin for City News.